Hi everyone. In this video I am going to show you how you can control the loads of the power system model through the OPC client. All these steps which I'm going to do in this video are available in ARISTO OPC UM manual, so in this video I am going to go a bit fast. Uh, Normally, like the loads of the power system model, you can monitor them through the OPC client, but you cannot control them. I can show you an example that what do I mean by that. Let's start Aristo, and we're going to use the same Svedela underscore VSC model. Most of you who are going to be working with the demand response or with the load shedding, you will need to control the loads, and since you're going to be mostly working with the distribution network within this Svedela underscore VSC model. So let's select some load uh, from the distribution network. Okay, so within this distribution network, we can select this Arkebu substation. So this Arkebu substation has one load, as you can see over here. Now, if I connect to the OPC server through this OPC client, oh sorry, I forgot to start the OPC server over here. Now OPC server is started in Aristo, and here now we can see our model. So if we browse to these nodes and look at the substation Arkebu, and within this substation Arkebu, since we want to see that how much power this load is consuming, so we select this load. The name of this load is ST30T1 last, which is over here, and here you can see that we can see that how much active power this load is consuming. Now if we want to change this load, if I try to write to this node, like write value, I can write any value, I will get this error. So which means that I cannot write to this node. So in order to control the loads, we are going to use the automatics, which is a control and protection application in Aristo. Through the automatics, we can control the loads by changing the load factor, but we cannot change the loads directly. In order to do that, first we have to create two new analog objects for each load. These analog objects are like variables which we are going to link with the active and reactive power of the load, and then we are going to use these then we are going to control these variables through the OPC client. So now I'm going to show you how you can create the new objects. To create the new objects, we are going to open the forms window, other objects, value objects, and we are going to double click on analog. In this window we are going to click on create object. Since we want to control the loads of the station Arkebu, I am going to name it pload Arkebu, and I am going to create one more object for controlling the reactive power of the load in Arkebu. Uh, Once you have created these objects, a really important thing you have to do is that you have to give it an initial value of 1. We are giving this initial value of 1 because this is, as I said, this is a load factor. Save. Once we have created the new objects, we are going to close Aristo, and now we have to run the two scripts, dummy sim data and dummy SCADA data on our model again. SCADA data.sql. Now we have to run a couple of more commands on the power system model. You can find these commands in the OPC UA manual. Now this is important. Between these columns we have to write the name of the new object which we created. Similarly, we have to repeat the procedure for the second object which we created, and exit the SQL command. Now we are going to open the ARISTO again. Now we have to create the automatic. However, we don't need to create the automatic from the scratch. I am going to provide you with a template which you are going to add to your model. Open the forms window, automatics, automatic status. Over here, go to files, import equipment, browse to the folder which contains the template which I am going to provide you. Load underscore template.xml, import. When the message says done, it means that the automatic has been imported. However, you won't be able to see it in the window. You have to close it and open it again. And here, loads underscore template. It is advisable that you rename it, edit, rename. Oh, since we are creating an automatic to control the load in substation Arkebu, I am going to name it load underscore Arkebu, and then close this window. Now we have to identify the load which we want to link with this automatic. To do that, we have to start the simulation because we want to open the network diagram. So this is the load st30 t1 underscore last, for which we want to create the automatics. We are going to open the forms window again, automatics, editor. Now we are going to open the automatic which we created for the substation Arkebu, load underscore Arkebu, load. Over here, this load factor block, we have to select the load which we want to control. In our case, it is st30. Apply, okay. Similarly, change it for the second block. And now in this block, measure block, we have to select the new object which we created, p underscore load underscore arkebu. Similarly, for controlling the reactive power, we will select q underscore load underscore arkebu. Okay, so now the newly created objects are linked with the loads. Oh, I forgot to change the load for these two blocks as well. Arkebu st30. So now we are going to close the automatic editor. Yes, we want to save the changes. Close the forms window, and now we are going to first stop the simulation, and now we are going to start the simulation again. And now we should be able to control the load factor of this load in RKBoo through the OPC client. Simulation is running. We start the OPC server. OPC server is running, and now we are going to connect with the OPC server through the OPC client. Now the new objects which we created to control the load factor, they are going to be listed under this test underscore RTU load. If we expand this load, here we can see p underscore load arkebu and q underscore load arkebu. If we want to change this load, for example, we want to make it double, so we give it a load factor of 2, and you see that the load has changed. Similarly, we can change the reactive power of the load, give it a 3, and here we can see that load the reactive power of the load has changed. Over here it is just showing us the roundup value. If we want to look at the exact value, we can look it through the client, through the OPC client. We go into the arkebu, and here we can see minus 10.58. That is the exact value. So I hope that it is clear that how you can control the loads through the OPC client. I might have gone a bit fast in this video, but as I said, you can find all these steps in the ARISTO OPC UI manual. If you have any other questions, you can always email me, and best of luck with your project.